Good morning. A small bake sale in the back. Gluten-free everything. These are brownies. Who wants them? Okay. Pay, where's Kelly? Kelly's in the back, okay. So pay her. But they're almost gone. So, I mean, if you want anything like that, you might want to sneak out like now and pick that up. So, okay, more t-shirts. I may be left-handed, but I'm always right. Mom likes me best. T-shirt, okay? I'm full of holiday spirit. It's called vodka. Politicians in diapers need to be changed often and for the same reason. I'm not short, I'm fun size. Yep, and Captain Obvious. That might be a t-shirt I might have to get too. And we're undoubtedly the only church in the universe that starts services with the Doobie Brothers. So, and probably the only ones that had patron saints like George Carlin and John Lennon too. So, George, I'll do him after I do John. It's always kind of surprising how things just to be kind of fit in really well. There are places I'll remember all of my life, though some have changed, some forever, not for better. Some have gone, some remain. All these places had their moments with lovers and friends. I can still recall some are dead and some are living in my life. I've loved them all. So. And George, a house is just a place to keep your stuff while you go out and get more stuff. Yep. Sin, things that make you go, I might get in trouble for this, but maybe not, who knows. Women keep a special place, corner of their hearts for sins they have never committed. It says. That was Cornelia Otis Skinner, 1901. So, yeah. I didn't say it, he did. Weak people never give way when they ought to. From fascination to barbarism is only one step. Fanaticism. I mean, it didn't make any sense to me either. From fanaticism to barbarism is only one step. So, consistency requires you to be as ignorant today as you were a year ago. Okay. And you know, the fanaticism to barbarism, I mean, I have to say something about Paris. You know, I visited many times, and my sister lived there for a while, went to the Sorbonne. This might be their 9/11. I hope the country doesn't change, but it might be changed forever. So we can only hope things work out. So anyway, sorry, that just kind of cropped up. Cinderella's slippers were originally made of fur. The story was inadvertently changed by a translator in the 1600s who confused the very old French words for glass and fur, there and there, respectively. Again. Yeah. It does kind of ruin the story, though. Literally had nice slippers. Trial by jury didn't come into prominence until the Middle Ages. It was believed that 12 was a holy number, since there were 12 tribes of Israel, 12 disciples of Jesus, and so on. According to medieval logic, 12 men in accord could not reach a false conclusion. In Old French, amazing how it just happened. Just all this French stuff just popped up. In Old French, this body of 12 was given a technical name formed from vrai, meaning true, and dit, meaning said. Though there is reason to doubt that supernatural power is ever used to find truth, even a modern jury cannot reach a verdict in a homicide case until all 12 men or all 12 members are in agreement. So the word verdict. Interesting how some of that stuff happens and where it came from. The most valuable possession you can own is an open heart. The most powerful weapon you can be is an instrument of peace. Carlos Santana. If you love someone, you should set them free. If they come back, it means nobody else liked them either. Set them free again. I just burned 2,000 calories. It's the last time I'm going to leave brownies in the oven while I nap. You know you're living in 2015 when you accidentally enter your PIN in your microwave. You haven't played solitaire with real cards in years. You have a list of 15 phone numbers to reach your family of 3. You email the person who works at the desk next to you. The reason for not staying in touch with friends and family is that they don't have emails. And you pull up into your own driveway and use your mobile phone to see if anyone is home to help you with the groceries. Yeah. Is there something else? I'm supposed to say something else. What? There's one. Sure. Hey, and there's something else too, I know. It's on the calendar, I know. If I can find the calendar.
Okay, so we're doing Thanksgiving again here at the church this year for those who don't have family to go to or do have family to go to and don't want to. Would rather come to this family. Anyway, I'm going to send a sign-up sheet around. Joe and I are going to supply the turkey. This is going to help give us a head count as to how big of a turkey, or maybe 2 turkeys. And also, we're going to need some things to put the rest of the dinner together. Please read the list and see what we already have written down, and maybe you can offer something that will round out the dinner for us. So I'm going to start that over here. Make sure it comes back up to the front and goes down this side. Also, I was given this last week. It's a little dream catcher, and I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do with it, so I would like to give this away to the first hand that goes up. You got a fast hand, girl. I forgot about it last week. It was still in my pew, and so Joe reminded me. I think that was everything. Thank you.
Cool.
Okay, our first family game night, there was just a few of us. Heidi and Kendall and Kat came, and Ron and I, and we played Yahtzee, but we had a really good time, not just playing the game, but just the camaraderie that we developed and learned a little bit more about each other. So our next family game night is going to be the first Friday in December, and we will start it at 6:30 so that people that get home late can have dinner before they come. And we spend about 2 hours we played Yahtzee, but we're open for anything. So I'm willing to teach pinochle, cribbage for those that are wanting to learn how to play cribbage. Anyway, put that on your calendars because we had a good time.
Thank you. Jan, do you want to talk about actually, well, okay, let me, hold on a second. Calendar, stuff going on. I don't need that. I've got this. Qigong, always before services on Sunday. The emotion code tomorrow. Drum circle on Wednesday. Where's Daryl? It's Tuesday. Drum circle on Tuesday. Interchange Wednesday. ARE Thursday. And Saturday is making fairy gardens. Really is cute.
So we're going to have everything that you need to make a fairy garden except the baskets. There's so many different types of baskets, and you can get them really cheap at Goodwill for like $4. But we're going to have like the houses and the pathway things to make rivers and all the good stuff that you need to do that. And they're a lot of fun, and they make really good gifts for people who have everything in the world because they're cute. And kids love them, which I never thought of. But they do. Cod camper,
Kids of all
exactly.
ages. Yep.
It's $15, everything's included except the basket. And if, like I was at Walmart and they had little $250 mugs. So if you're looking for gifts for people and don't want to spend a lot, you could probably do 2 of those for the same. They were $250.
Oh, $250.
50.
I know, I heard $50 too.
So for the 15, you can make 2 of those with the materials probably, and they would make just cute little gifts for people. So yeah, yeah, for hospital. She said they'd make great gifts for somebody in the hospital. Yeah, because they're very confined and they're cute and they're low maintenance. So.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll have like the fun accessories too.
Cool, thank you. Of course, next Sunday is going to be Christopher, and then we have Thanksgiving after that. How fun. I know there's... Oh, yeah. How'd that get done? Oh, there we go. I knew I had more stuff. I couldn't figure out where it was. We still have some more green lights left. This is our tribute to the vets. And of course, we have a lot of veterans in there in the church, myself included. And this is a really, really cool deal. Take a bulb. If you want to contribute something for it, that's fine, but that's not the issue. Take it home, turn it on, so if a vet at night is passing your home, they can see that they're remembered for doing stuff. So thank you for everybody that does that. Anything else? Okay. Learning to cuss. Okay. A 6-year-old and a 4-year-old are raking the yard early one morning. The 6-year-old says, "You know, what? I think it's about time we learned how to cuss." The 4-year-old nods his head in approval. The 6-year-old continues, "When we go in for breakfast, I'm going to say something like with hell, and you say something with ass." I wasn't going to say that, but I just did, so. Oh well. The 4-year-old agrees with enthusiasm. When the mother walks into the kitchen, actually later on in this thing I was going to kind of blip that out, but I already said it, so it doesn't matter now. When the mother walks into the kitchen and asks the 6-year-old what he wants for breakfast, he replies, "Ah, hell, Mom, I guess I'll have some Cheerios." Whack! He flies out of his chair, tumbles across the kitchen floor, gets up, runs upstairs, crying his eyes out with his mother in hot pursuit, slapping his rear with every step. His mom locks him in his room and says, and shouts, "You can stay there until I let you out." She then came back downstairs, looks at the 4-year-old, and asks with a stern voice, "And what do you want for breakfast, young man?" "I don't know," he blubbers, "but you can bet your ass it won't be Cheerios." I don't think he quite got it. I just don't think he quite got it. I guess I'm glad that leaked out. It just wouldn't have been the same. Would not have been the same. So, let's sing a song. Thank you. That was fun. That was fun. It's interesting. You know, we celebrated our 18th anniversary here a couple of weeks ago. And there it is. And, of course, this is in our 19th year. Hard to believe. Absolutely hard to believe. Maybe organized religion is getting a clue. I'm not sure. Not positive. A couple of churches. Actually, there's one church over in Seattle. I'm not going to name any names. You know, we're equal opportunity offenders, but still, I'm not going to mention any names. But here's a church that had 8,000 members in Seattle. In a 38,000 square foot building, they have 125 now. I guess they weren't given what people wanted or needed more than anything else. Maybe it was a little bit of guilt. Gee, I'm sure organized religion would never do that. So obviously we are a Christian fellowship, but we are considerably different than most. And there's another that people are actually giving their resignation notices from, gleefully, even under dire warnings of doing such, and they're doing things like that. So, you know, I think it's good. I think it's good that people are questioning. I think it's good people are paying attention to what they're being taught, and that's not all about being afraid to do something or being pushed into doing something, but doing it because you want to and because it feels like the right thing to do. So that's enough for me. Jan?
Good morning. Good morning. You'll be so proud of me. Well, thank you, but you're really going to be proud of me. I actually looked at some old videos of myself. And that's not even the best part. The best part is I didn't look at it with a critical eye. Now I did look at it and say, you know, as a guest speaker, that person could have done that better if they had done it this way. But no shame. There was no guilt, no shame of, oh my God, that was terrible. Even if it wasn't the best presentation, it was like, that was a worthy effort. I can't tell you how miraculous that is. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Coming from someone who has always been extremely critical of themselves, this is just huge, huge. So, with that said, never say never. And again, I couldn't have done that a few weeks ago. So the things that you think you might want to do in your life, but you don't think you can, it's okay. Maybe you can't do them now, but you might be able to later. So just be patient with yourself. Cut yourself some slack. So as I was looking at those, because we started in the first Sunday in September talking about manifesting. And we all are manifesting all the time anyway. Conscious manifesting, you get to have what you choose. Unconscious manifesting is we just bring up old patterns to look at again. How fun is that? Not. So, and you know, it was really funny. I even took notes on some of them. It's like, well, this is good stuff. Where'd that come from? I'd never heard that before. Came out of my mouth. I'd never heard it before. So, good stuff, worthy effort. You might want to go back and look at YouTube. It's really cool. So the first Sunday we did, we were healing our relationship with money. And because when we're embittered about somebody else who has money, that sets us up for sabotaging ourselves. Because if we think having money is a negative, what are the chances of us having it? You know, it's like, oh, people who have money are mean or unkind. Well, I don't want to be mean and unkind, so guess what? I'm not going to have any money because I don't want to be like that. So we're in the process of healing that, and how we can get in the flow, getting in the flow of financial abundance and blessings. Because abundance is an energetic circuit. Who knew? How cool was that? So we're getting in the flow. If it's in there, you gotta plug a light in the socket before it'll work. If it's just a light bulb hanging out in the package, it's pretty, but it's not gonna give you any light. Gotta plug it in. So plug in. Get in the flow. And you get in the flow by giving. Giving time, money, energy, money. If you want money, give money. Simple as that. But don't do it as guilt or shame. You better. Because that's spiritual blackmail. Spiritual extortion. Quit that. Don't let somebody guilt you into what you should give. Think about it. Don't sit and come to church and say, oh, where have I got my wallet? No, think about it first. Ponder. See what your heart says. Trust that. And that'll put you in the flow. Then we went to the precipice. Next Sunday we went to the precipice. And the precipice was where we got to stand and see the void, which is absolute, every opportunity, every good thing available to us, and how we could access that. Bringing that abundance to us, calling it to us ourselves. Then Crystal Willingham gave us a wonderful message about the law of attraction and the art of allow. Funny thing, had back in the building we had before this one, little storefront thing, and somebody needed the keys for something. So I gave him, just pulled a key out of my pocket and gave him this glob. And of course the keys were all hung up. Have you ever had keys hang up? She was like, I just can't get the keys apart. And I said, oh, let me have it. So she put it in my hand, I went, allow. And the keys just fell apart. When we allow things to be as they are, then they shift into what we would like it to be. So the art of allowing the good things to come to us without struggling. Then we went to the crystal core. We healed the crystal core. There's plenty of room on the front row, sorry. Don't you just hate it? Anyway. So we heal the core beliefs about ourselves. Now, I don't know about you, but some of the core beliefs I had about myself were not pretty. So we get to heal those things. We went through that. We talked a little bit about transforming ourselves, that we don't have to be an energetic trash can for somebody else's guilt and shame. That we can be a vessel of service, a vessel of love, a vessel of light. We have a choice in that. Then we talked about no pain, no gain. How we can go to that place of no pain. And when we go to that place of no pain, then the pain subsides. Then we talked about Alvin. Remember the Alvin? Alvin! And sometimes we just feel like screaming at ourselves because we just can't get it. I don't know about you. It takes me at least 3 times to get something before it locks. Oh, you think that might be a sign? You think God might be wanting to tell me something? So when we talk about Alvin, we were talking about the things that we do that are not helpful for ourselves and how they're anchors because they're familiar. We hang on to the old stuff. It's not working for us anymore. But we hang on to it because it's familiar. And letting go of those anchors, those things holding us back, helps us to move forward. Then we did the balloons. Wasn't that fun? Getting in the flow of fun. And when we were open to fun and open to spirit, we had spirit communication. We were able to write blessings, put them in the balloons, bounce them around, and then you got to select a balloon for yourself. And it was amazing the messages that came through those balloons. It was just really, really powerful. So there was a lot we learned in that one. That fun is really important spiritually. That's why Phil tells jokes at the front, first of service. Like people walk in and go, what in the world is this man doing? You know, we just do it and we don't tell you what's going on. Laughter is an energetic reset button. Because when we can laugh, then we stop judging everything else that's going on in our world. Oh, this is bad. Have you ever had a best, worst thing that ever happened to you? But we're so busy judging this is bad that we don't see the good. And sometimes laughter helps us to shift out of that and be in a better state of mind so that we can receive this divine connection and be of service to others. So that was wonderful. And that our words are very powerful. The words that we speak to ourselves and the words that we speak to others. Then we talked about grace and manifesting. And that was when we talked about the no pain, and when we went to no pain, there was the pain subsided. The same thing as if we looked at only what is not good in our life, and we judged it, and we're worried about it, and we're frustrated with it, and we obsess about it, then that amplifies that, because it's like, oh, this is what you're focusing on, so the universe goes, let's give them more of that, because that's the most important thing in their life. But when we don't look at that, or we don't focus on that and dwell on that, and we look at the good stuff, then the universe goes, oh, look, this is what they're looking for. Let's give them more of that. And that's where blessings and abundance can come in. So today, I want to talk to you about the opposite of what I just said, because that also has value. Now, there's like 3 different messages at war within themselves this morning in my brain. I think they'll all fit together. So let's just see how this works. I don't know. We'll see. But if we're looking at what is really good in our lives so Spirit can bring more good to us, that's wonderful. And we're heading towards Thanksgiving, which is a wonderful time to be grateful and be thankful. But here's the deal about gratitude. We need to get a little deeper. I'm grateful for my home, I'm grateful for my husband, I'm grateful for my car, I'm grateful for this and I'm grateful for that. Yeah, sure, blah, blah, blah. Because if that's all you're doing and that's gratitude for you, you're missing the boat. Because gratitude is deeper than that, and you get into this deeper place of gratitude. This is this wellspring of amazing, wonderful stuff. So, I'm really grateful for my home because it's a wonderful temperature. I have a snuggly little blanket that I can cuddle in. I got a comfortable bed. Because, find the because my home is my sanctuary. And when I can rest and feel safe, then I have more strength and energy to do the things that my heart desires. Now, isn't that different than, I'm really grateful for my home. La 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 la. I'm really grateful for my husband because he's funny. He challenges me on lots of ways. He's got my back. He's just, without him, my life would be very, very different, and not something I would really want to have, because he is such an integral part of my world, and I'm really grateful for that. That's really different than just, I'm really grateful for my husband. So now let's do the reverse of that. This is the hard part. You're not going to like me. Oh, you might. You might love me, but this is hard. I'm going to ask you to think of something that is really you're struggling with. We're not going to focus on it and whine about it, because that's adding to that, and we don't want Spirit to add to that. But we're going to look at it, and we're going to clear the energy. Would that be good? So what's something in your world that isn't working too well for you? What's something that's a problem for you? Work? There was like 3 hands going, work! Your role is general manager of the universe, and that's not working too well for you. I can see why. Health issues might be something. So let's take a look at some of those. What we want to do here is it's easy to be grateful for the good stuff, but when you can find a gratitude, when you can find a because for the stuff that's not working in your life, all of a sudden it goes away. Because you don't know right now if this is not just the best, worst thing ever. You don't know that. But we judge it. It shouldn't be that way. This is not fun. I don't like it. It shouldn't be that way. It should be this way. And I want that. So the inner brat comes out. Those are fit. Now, William said something profound to me the other day, talking about the inner brat. He said, because I said, well, just, send him in his corner. William said, you know what I do with the inner brat? I love him. Because what do you do with a child who's throwing a temper tantrum? There's this fine line between, you can't smack them. That's not effective. And you can't talk to them. You ever talk to somebody who's in a bad mood? If they're not listening, stop talking. If you're not listening to yourself, stop talking. But just being there, it's okay. It's okay. You can throw your little fit if you want to. But we're going to do this and it's going to be all good. I gotcha. I love you. I love you. And you know what? The inner brat shifts. I've been working on that. My inner brat shifted. It's like, okay, fine. If you think so. Yeah, I think it's going to be good. Come on, let's go do this. This will be fun. So when your inner brat comes up, don't change for the inner brat. You got your plan. Stay in that state of gratitude. But bring it along. Come on, we're going to be okay. It's all good. It's all good. Do you believe it's all good? If it's not all good, then we got a whole nother conversation here. Even the bad stuff has value. So your work. Don't like your work. Well, you know, you can be grateful for your work because it's money, food on the table. You can be grateful for the really difficult situation at work because it's making you want to move on. Remember we were talking about anchors? Maybe your work is an anchor. Maybe you don't belong there anymore. Maybe the part of the discomfort here is that it just sucks. And it's time to move beyond that. And if it was wonderful, you'd stay. So it's kicking your backside so that you can say, oh, you know, there might be something better out there. There might be. Then it might be something that you might need to train for. Might want to go back to school, get some new education, get a new skill. So you can be really grateful. You don't have to wait until the best, worst thing ever has come and gone and you're already on the other side of it. You don't have to wait for that to be grateful. Be grateful now. I'm really grateful. Things are really difficult at work because now I can focus my relationships on my friends and have my soul fed there. That's a good because. I'm really grateful there's difficulty at work because this is really getting me to take a look at moving on and doing something different. Okay, so being the general manager of the universe. I'm really grateful my job as general manager of the universe is just not working out well for me because now I get to ask for help. Now I get to learn to let go. I get to free myself from that. So the because is really, really powerful. And once we get the because, then everything shifts. The truth is this beautiful neutral zone. When you move into truth, we move into neutral. It's not bad, it's not ecstasy, it's neutral. And it's from this place of neutrality that we can manifest anything. But being angry and upset and sad and worried and frustrated just makes us sad and worried and frustrated and upset. Here's the key. If you're upset about something, if I'm upset about something, it's time to see what we've been set up to look at. If you're upset, you've been set up to look at something in a new perspective. Without judgment, with gratitude, because. So what's the because? So what's something else? Anybody else have a something else? Yes, ma'am. Oh, if it's not one thing, it's your mother. Yes. All mothers are complicated, are they not? I'm thankful that she's really here. I'm just repeating for the microphone. Well, and you can be thankful because she gave you life. Yeah. I'm really grateful my mother's being a pain in the backside right now because so you're having to look at everything she says is wrong with your life and you get to make your own choice. And you get to decide whether you're going to fix it or not fix it, or if it's right or it's wrong, or it's good or it's bad. So you're empowering yourself. Being pushed up against that is empowering you to really take a look at your life in a new perspective. So I'm really grateful that my mother is my mother because I'm looking at myself in a new way. I'm taking on my own life in my own way. Something else? Anybody else? Yes, ma'am. So you're making yourself pray for somebody you don't like? You want to have compassion for them? So are your prayers kind of like, dear God, help them do that differently? Okay, who was it that told me about a mom prayer? Somebody told me about a mom prayer. Who was that? Can't remember offhand. Whoever you were, I want to give you credit, but I don't know who you are. So I'm going to just put it out there. Here's what God thinks about a mom prayer or about a prayer like that. Maybe you have people who say, I'll pray for you. I'm worried about your soul, so I'll pray for you. Bring it. You can't have too much prayer. Because here's the deal. Great Spirit, God, higher power, whatever that is for you, looks at that mom prayer. Because a mom prayer is, oh, dear God, don't let them do that. And God goes, I hear you. I honor your love as a mom. And I'll intervene in their behalf my way. I got this. So your prayer for this person, when you're praying for somebody you don't really care for, maybe they're doing something that you don't care that maybe you have rightful reasons to be concerned for them. You just go, oh God, man, this is on you, buddy. You don't have to have anything more than, I don't know what this is all about. They're going through really tough stuff, and this is all on you. I trust that you got it. You got this, and I'm gonna step out of the way. Does that feel better? So I'm really grateful for difficult prayer situations because I can learn to trust God again. I forget. We all forget, don't we forget? This side of the room has had several things. What about this side of the room? Anything going on over here? Health. Oh, that's a big one. I've got this litany of things that I would really like that they weren't the way they are. So health. I'm really grateful for this challenge of my health because, there's lots of causes we could have. Because I'm learning how fragile human life is. And I can take every day as a gift, as a blessing. We talked about exit points. Have I ever mentioned exit points to you before? I think throughout life we have exit points where some near miss on the highway or some health issue comes up where we could have checked out, but we don't. And I think, how many people have felt they've had an exit point? Man, I'm lucky to be here. Okay, a lot of people here. Once you've had an exit point, every day is grace. Every day is gravy, because you could be not here. Every day is a beautiful, beautiful blessing. Even if it's pain, even if it's in discomfort, even if you can't do the things that you did yesterday, every day is a blessing because you're here. And when you're here, you have the power to choose. You have the power to be who you really came here to be. And part of what you came here to be has nothing to do with your physical health. I think back to Gail. Remember Gail Davis? She had ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease. Gosh, what a miserable disease that is. Brain is fine, the body just deteriorates quickly. The more ill she became, the sweeter she became. And she was just a blessing to us. It was hard for her to get here. She had to make these huge commitments and arrangements. And she was a blessing to us. She always had a beautiful smile on her face. Was that a terrible disease? Absolutely. But it was a beautiful thing to see her soul and the grace of her soul emerge. It was beautiful. You're not your physical form. Your physical form is the thing that carries who you are around and helps you get things done. But your value isn't wrapped up in being the prettiest, the best, the strongest, the wisest, the healthiest, the one with the most endurance. What makes you wonderful, what makes you who you really are, is the spirit that resides within this whole. And how it expresses itself. And you can express that divine nature even if you're in pain. Phil and I visited Dan at the hospital the other day. Dan McDonald. He's in a lot of pain. And nurse came in or the phlebotomist came in to take blood. He didn't like it. And yet he was so kind and gracious. even in his discomfort, even in his, oh, did you have to stick me again? Even in that, he was kind. And it was a blessing for them. And he apologized to one nurse. He said, I'm sorry I was so cranky with you. And she said, you know, it's okay. We get it. You know, it's hard to be in pain and be in a good place. So don't worry about that. We're good. We're here to help you. So you just be here and let us serve. Let us do what we do best, which is help you get better. And so even in that, even in physical discomfort, he was a blessing so they could be a blessing. It worked really beautifully well. So whatever discomfort physically that you're experiencing isn't who you are. Who you are shines through that. And sometimes having ill health is this wonderful mechanism where we can just give it up. Just give it up. We don't have to be something for everybody else. If we had perfect health and perfect vitality, we'd probably do a million things for a bunch of other people. Maybe they needed to do by themselves. Got a laughter on that one. And maybe focusing on our own self is really the value. It's really important to focus on ourselves. And if illness is what takes us to that space, then hallelujah. I'm grateful for that. Anything else? Yes, ma'am. Procrastination and the excuses. Oh, I can't be grateful for that. No. So I'm really grateful that I procrastinate because it's serving something. Usually procrastination serves because then we get in a panic and then we have adrenaline to run on. Huh? We have a deadline. So we got to push. And sometimes the things that we're pushing ourselves to do aren't fun, or they're not part of our world. We're not meant to do those things. Now there's things we got to do. Everybody's got to clean the toilet now and then, right? Well, Phil and I have this thing. He puts gas or electricity in the cars, and I clean toilets. It's a wonderful mutual relationship here. But there's dirty stuff we got to do if we want to live in a nice, wonderful place, right? So there's some things that just got to get done that are not fun. But if you can be grateful for the not fun stuff, I'm really grateful for, I don't know about you, but I'm grateful for a clean toilet. So as I'm swishy, thank you for a clean toilet. Hit that toilet. Thanks. That's done for another week. So we can be grateful for the adrenaline that gets us going. Now, there's a price to be paid. Because if you run on adrenaline, when the adrenaline's gone, you're pooped. And you're more tired than if you'd have just done it. So you can be grateful that you waited till the last minute, now you got all this adrenaline, and now you're tired. You're grateful because you're learning the lesson. And next time. True. Well said. Yes. So the key here is when we're procrastinating to look and see, do I really need to do that? Or do I just need to do it sooner than later? And letting go. Yes, letting go that. Because you know, in the grand scheme of things, what's important is being in the moment. If in this moment I need to rest, then it's a good thing to procrastinate. If in the moment I really need to clean the toilet, I need to get up and go clean that toilet. You know, choose. Every moment is a choice. Which leads us to the last little piece of the pie here. And I'm running out of time. When we are in a place where we have this gratitude, we can then play. How many forget to play? Now there's some Alfie people in here. You never forget to play. This is not your problem. But for the rest of us, some of us forget to play. Because we're so, got to get it done, got to get that duty, or I got to be busy playing video games to procrastinate so I can do that later when I'm all spun up. When we do that, we don't play. Have you been seeing on YouTube or on Facebook or whatever, all the different animals that are playing? Elephant playing with a ribbon. That was so cute. Did you know turtles play? It was the funniest thing. Saw a turtle playing with a ball. It was really cute. Dog came up and took the ball. Turtle bit it. Laughed my butt off. It was funny, funny, funny. Did you see the deer dancing playing in the surf? Yeah. Then there was a deer playing with a dog. That was really cute. Then there was a dog playing with an otter. Even critters play. When they have comfort, they have a safe home, when they feel safe, when they have enough nourishment, they play. So when we're in that place where we are enough, we feel things are good enough, we can play. And we forget to. We think it's all about work. It's all about struggle. Mm-mm. Now here's the deal. What Phil considers play, just shoot me. I would hate to do that. You know, he's out working on his car, greasy hands, and working on this, and what do you do? What are you doing lately? What's the latest thing? Front end, redesigning the suspension. No, I'm not. I'm a Virgo. I don't get dirty in the first place. Not a good thing. Some people love to read. That's fun for them. Somebody else, man, put a book in front of their face. Oh man, no, I don't want to read that. Some people like to go bowling. Some people don't. What you do for fun is something that is unique to you. But when we're not able to have fun, we've lost touch with this space of feeling safe and comfortable and being nourished. And another key component to that is companionship. We are all connected. We are so connected. This morning, I was like, my back was a little hinky. I stood too long one day and then sat too long the next day, and so my back was out. And finally I said, oh, Phil, man, my back's killing me. He goes, oh, no wonder. My back just started hurting. He picked it up. So in the car on the way here, I said, I've got this stupid song running in my head. What's the name of that song? I don't remember. He said, well, that's been running in my head for the last 3 days. We're connected. The stuff that happened in France, we feel it. We're connected. The more we feel connected to like minds, the safer we feel, the more nourished we feel, the more opportunity we can to have joy. And feel that sense of rejoicing, that sense of playfulness. And without play, it's just drudgery. Phil and I went to breakfast the other day, and there was this couple. Oh my gosh, their faces were low. They drudged in. It was sad. They looked so defeated. They both looked healthy, but they were defeated because there was no joy. Without joy, you're missing a whole huge thing about manifesting, because it is from that place of joy that manifestation can come through. Because I've had people say, well, Janice, I just don't know what to even manifest anymore. They're burnt out. They're worn out. Don't know what to do. I hear you. Been there, done that. But if you can find joy again, find those connections, find a way to feel nourished and feel safe, then you'll have this place of joy. And it is from joy that your dreams can reawaken. Phil and I have lived through lots of dreams that have died. And they've died miserable, horrible deaths, and it was not pretty. But new dreams will emerge if you feel safe, if you are nourished physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and you have connections. When you have that, then this joyfulness comes back. And when there's this joyfulness, then abundance rolls in. And from this place of joyfulness, you can go, you know, I might really want to do that. And things will serendipitously happen to bring that into your life. And then there's your sign. Oh my, I get to look at that. I get to try that. I'll leave you with a little verse. We read this last week. I'm going to read it again. Philippians chapter 4, verse 4. Rejoice in the Lord always. Again, I say rejoice. Had to say it twice. Now, if you're not a Jesus fan and in the Lord is really hard for you to handle, say it this way. Rejoice in spiritual things always. And again, I say rejoice. Rejoice in spiritual things. Bring joy in your life. That's where nurturing comes in. That's where start over on that sentence. Can I start over on that sentence? That's where you feel safe. That's where you have nurturance. And that's where you have connectedness. When you delight yourself in those spiritual things, remember the verse we talked about last week, delight yourself in the Lord and He will give you the desires of your heart. You don't even have to know what your heart desires. It'll be given to you. Just get in that place of delight and joyfulness. Be anxious for nothing. Nothing. Don't worry about that stuff. Gratitude it to death. And move on. Remember me telling you about the big white trailer in the backyard? I blessed the hell out of that thing. And it was gone. Took a year and a half. The tree that was right between me and that trailer is bigger than its neighboring tree that was right next to it. A lot bigger, because it was getting all the blessings right through. And it grew. Bless the heck out of that stuff. Anxiety or being worried, it's just, don't waste your time and energy. Move on. But in everything, in prayer and supplication, with thanksgiving, let your requests be known to God. Thank you. I'm really grateful for this really crappy thing because. Find the because. There's a because there. Find it. And the peace of God, which surpasses all comprehension, shall guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. You're going to have peace. And when you have peace, you got power. Right? So that's what we're up to. Let's do a quick guided meditation. I've been blah, blah, blah. Deep breath in and exhale. Another deep breath in and exhale. On this third one, allow yourself to find your core. Deep breath in and exhale. And settle.